Alrighty, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be covering zero build and kind of like the loadouts required and some of the other stuff that goes with zero build. Now, I am a primarily battle royale build mode channel, but there just isn't really that much going on right now in arena. FNCS isn't for a bit. There just isn't anything happening. So I thought, why not? I might as well do a zero build video. So obviously I don't really play that much zero build. I don't really have the knowledge needed to actually give you some advice that comes from me. But I am friends with a guy named Cizlucky. Now, if you know Cizlucky, he used to play with the Liquid Boys way back when. So he played with Vivid, Poach, and 72 Hours. I think he was squads with them or something. And he's been playing the game pretty much since then and placing, still pretty well, making round threes and stuff like that. But he's been just absolutely blown up lately in build or zero builds. He's just been playing really well, doing really well in Twitch Rivals, doing really well in the Zero Cash Cups and the Zero Lightning Cups and all those stuff. And he just played in Nikkei 30's zero build tournament with Roadie Bros and placed really well. Got first place. They got like 3K each and 500 skins. So I said, you know what? I'll send him my messages and then make a video about that. So the first question I asked was, what's the best zero build loadout for solos and duos or team modes? And he said for solos, I would say shockwaves, porta-fort, AR, shotgun/SMG, and minis/bigs. So having an AR is really important because obviously you have that long range. You can run a shotgun or an SMG, and you have the shockwaves for that gap closer. So I imagine you throw down the shockwave, and then you fly at them, and then you hit them with the auto or the striker or the SMG, and then you finish them off to whatever weapon you have, and you basically just kill them. So the shockwaves are your gap closers. The porta-fort is used, if you have a really good location. If you pull zone, just throw down the porta-fort and go on top of it and tag everyone else that has to rotate in. And then your minis and bigs just depends on, what do you want to hold. The minis and bigs are always a good option because you have the minis to get you up to 150 and the bigs to push you further. Now in duos, he says it's kind of similar. He said it's really just kind of depends on what each person is comfortable with. So one person should definitely run the heavy snipers. The heavy sniper is really good for breaking builds. So it can break the porta-fort actual builds and drop people down. It can break the cars and trucks that people are using. And it can also break kind of like structures that are already around. So if a team's hiding in a house, if a team's hiding behind a rock, if they're behind a tree, you just shoot it with the heavy sniper, it'll break it instantly, and then you guys can 3, 2, 1 it. You can even plan a double heavy snipe if you want, but that's a little bit more kind of like, you don't really have to do that, and it's a little bit more iffy and if you want to. So, and then he also said that somebody should be carrying rifts. So one of the team members should be carrying the rifts, and the rifts are really just like your get out of jail free card. Like if you have to run right now and you're just in such a horrible position, you pop the rifts, you fly in the air, and you just find a new spot somewhere to land. Ideally, you want to heal up before you pop the rifts. If you have time to pop 1 or 2 minis, even a big, get to full health just in case people do start cracking you out of the air. And then the final thing, he said that if you do prefer to run cars, then one of your teammates should have a repair torch. Because, if someone heavy snipes your car, or they're just shooting it when it's rotating, or whatever, you want to make sure you are able to actually heal your car back up. Now, the next question I asked is, what's the best POI for zero builds? And he said it really depends on an edge-like POI. Like, it has to be something on the edge of the map. He says that on the south side of the map, we have Synapse, Chonkers, and Condo. And that these are the best POIs to land at because when you're there is no chance for someone to be behind you, right? Because there's nowhere else for them to land. And this is especially true with Synapse and Condo. This is like the farthest split you have, or the farthest loot you have on the map is Synapse and Condo. No one can land behind you unless they're just landing in the water, and then that's free kills. So you make sure that you are playing the edge of zones, or you're rotating in late. Different from Battle Royale, where we want to land in a middle map location. That way we are already in a good spot, and we don't have to worry too much about, the loot routes, and we can get a god spot in the middle of zone pretty easily. That's like the commie split. But in this one, you want to land on the edge, and you want to make sure that no one is behind you. So the idea is that once you get into first or second zone or wherever, you are on the edge, and you only have to worry about what's in front of you, what's to your left, and what's to your right, because there's 100% no one behind you because you're on that edge, and no one could land behind you. Now, that is somewhat true with Chonkers, but not fully, not 100% true, and that's just because there is this little split behind Chonkers. There's like a house behind there, bunch of cars to the left, and then there's a vault and rifts to the right. But the thing about that is that if you do see someone landing there, oftentimes the two teammates are split And even if they do land there together, the loot is just sucks. It's just shit. The loot is absolutely shit. So you might as well just pick up some weapons, get a pretty good fight in loadout from chonkers, and then just hard key them. Now the next question is, should you play edge, of zone, or middle? He said it kind of depends on your playstyle. If you're looking for high kills, the middle is good, but edge is also good if you want to play for placements and like win the game. Then I asked him if he aim train, and he says that he does do some aim training. He mainly does stuff kind of like in-game, so he doesn't prefer the third-party softwares like Kovacs, AimBeast, or AimLabs, and they are good, so if you prefer them, then that's fine, and if you use them already, then that's okay, but he prefers the in-game aim trainers. So he says he uses Raider 464's aim training map, and he does that pretty much every day, and he switches between flicking and tracking and kind of back and forth. And then he says before that he actually starts playing either Arena Zero build or a tournament, he actually plays some pubs, and he just loads into it and lands tilted just to get kind of the feel of how to actually track and flick to people who are actually real. So he lands tilted and gets that practice underway. So the next question is, I asked him if he plays zero build scrims, and he says that he doesn't really play them that often, but he does do it, the night before, and I would recommend it too, because honestly, it would be pretty fun to play a zero build scrim, especially with like Tfue scrims or whatever. I think they're the only ones that are hosting them. So that could be an option as well, but he doesn't really play them that much. So, take that as what you will. And that is really it. Those are the questions I asked them. He's honestly a great guy. He streams on Twitch and he has a Twitter, so I'll link them both below in the description. And let me know if you want to see some more zero build content. I'll be, I'm not really focusing on that, but I'll start grinding it and start learning, the whole meta, and then see if maybe, what can happen from that. Maybe I'll bot review some zero build players and just, see it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not sure what the next video will be. No idea. Let me know if you have any ideas below in the comments. And yeah, cheers.